Good evening, ladies. How are you doing tonight? It is Sunday Fun Day, and it is December 7th. And yes, I have my Merry sweatshirt on. Okay, tonight we are doing our scrapbook page, and this page is so pretty. And I know at first people were looking at it and going, yeah, it's really not my favorite Christmas paper. Well, it's turning into be one of my favorites. I do like more of a traditional paper, but a little bit of pink does not hurt me. All right. When you join in, please say that you're here so that I know somebody's on with me. So I have not adhered my photos yet, but I have printed my photos. So I'm going to just set those aside. You needed embellishments. You're going to need 2 white bases for tonight, or a light color, or whatever matched your paper. And then we took a piece of designer paper and I cut it not in half. I did 7 by 12 and then 5 by 12. So it is the same exact paper, and I just cut it. So the beauty is my flowers here, the poinsettias, are going to line up beautifully. So the 7 will go on my right, and the 5 is going on my left. And then you will need a specialty paper of some sort. I am going to use the velvet, the red velvet paper. And this is a 1 by 12 piece. So as I plop paper on, I'm going to take their little tags off. You needed a piece of cardstock that is 3 by 6, and I did run mine through the embosser. So it is a plaid. And then you needed 2 4 by 6 pattern papers. So those are going to go here and here. And then your embellishments and your photos. So let's get started. The first thing I am going to do, since these 2 pattern pieces are so light and they're landing on white paper, I want to give a little bit of a definition to them. So I am going to ink them up with mink ink. And that is a very soft gray that is a close to my heart color. When you're scrapping and your pattern paper is lighter, do you ink it up? Do you ink up those sides, or do you maybe pick a darker base to put everything on? Let me know what you do. I might have gone with a little bit of a darker color, but I don't want it to detract from the pretty paper that is this Traditions of Christmas, and it is sold out. I think you can still get the workshop. I'm not 100% sure. But do you see how there's just that little slight variance? So that the paper doesn't blend right in to my base. And I'm almost thinking I might want to do a tiny little bit of splatter. But this paper's already so busy. I might not do that. My photos for tonight are of just a few of my trees that I've put up this season. There we go. Okay, let's get these two pieces adhered right now. I just want to make sure that I am paying attention to this side so that it will match up over here. And I know I will run out of adhesive sometime during our event tonight, but I have a spare ready to go. So this is the 7 by 12. And that. And we're going to put our, oopsie daisy, I am definitely a little bit crooked here. So before we get too carried away, it's a little challenging to put it straight when you can't put your head over your paper. Okay, let's try that again. I thought I was lined up at the bottom. Oh, I think I might be now. All right, let's make sure. No, it's not straight. Do you ever struggle with getting it on straight? There we go. Now I think we're good now. There we go. Okay, and that piece is going over there. Let's wiggle those pieces over. Always, yeah. It's just, it's definitely that struggle bus, man. Okay. Since this is a smaller piece, it's that 5 by 12. That went on so much easier. Next, I'm going to put on my velvet. And the nice thing about this velvet paper, you actually can emboss it, and you can use your die cuts for it. It will work. And I'm going to put that right next to my pattern paper. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's such a pretty paper. All right. This pattern piece, which will go on both sides. I think I need a T-ruler out. We want it to be approximately 1 inch from the bottom, and then it's about 1 inch from the left-hand side. And I do have it tucked just a tiny bit underneath the floral, and I think I might be just about out. There we go. So let's get back to being even here. So I need it at about 1 inch from the left and 1 inch from the bottom. And it's just a slight little tuck. So that's going to go there. And now I'm going to repeat that over on my right hand side. The 1 inch from the bottom, not the 1 inch from the right hand side. because we're going to actually have some embellishment clusters. So I want to make sure that I am 1 inch from the bottom. And again, it's going to tuck underneath this velvet paper just slightly. There we go. And now I want to make sure I'm about 1 inch from the bottom. And that looks pretty good. Now this blue is going to overlap. And like I said, I did emboss this piece with an embossing folder. I used the plaid. So I am about 1/2 inch from the top down. Well, more like 1/4 inch. Okay, so those will overlap just like that. Okay? Now we're going to get our photos ready. We're just not going to put anything quite down yet. I want to first get everything positioned, then, let's see, and do I want dark? I want light side. Light side, and I believe this is Old Olive, maybe? Not 100% sure. Oops. You needed 3 3x4s. I actually did 4 3x4s. I could have turned one of these into a flip flap, but I opted not to. Okay. So one of my photos, well actually 2 of mine, are going to be some of my newer ornaments that I got this year for Christmas. And with my photo printer here at home, I was able to put 8 on a sheet. And I'm going to keep them in a grid style pattern. And I'm going to keep those together. All I did was cut it in half because it printed it as a 4x6 size with the 8 littles on that 4x6. And I just cut it in half. And my trees that we're scrapping tonight are my peppermint tree, which is in my hallway. And that is a 5-foot tree, 5-foot pencil tree. And then our TV room tree, which has been revamped into a snowman tree, and that one is also a 5-foot pencil. So you would need 2 4x6s. And then a 5x7. Now for my 5x7 mat, I'm actually putting a 4x6 photo on it with the white border. And that is my living room tree this year. I did it slightly different than I had done the last few years. I try to change it up every now and then. So we are going to just center that within the 5x7 framing of the mat. Okay, so my 5x7 is going to go there. And I may do this because I have increased by a 4x6 photo. So we're going to place our photos on And then I kind of want these two over here. I don't think I want anything overlapping on, well, I might. Let's just see. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm going to bring in my embellishments before I adhere any of my photos down because they might get rearranged. So my title is 'Tis the Season. Oh, here's the word the, and then the word season. So 'tis the season. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And then I was also thinking maybe this little piece of gold up there, maybe, I don't know yet. I did lay everything out, but it's been a while since I had laid it out. And then I did cut out a few of these pretty poinsettias. And of course, I would trim this off so that it all stayed in one line. And then I have this gold piece that I was thinking, so maybe bringing this photo down, then I could shift that down. I don't know yet. Let's just see what else we have here. Now this one, this is cut off, but it could easily be tucked into something. And then I did cut a third, so it would lay over on this side. So we would be bringing that gold over. And then I did do a circle, so maybe putting one of these flowers on a circle. I don't know. Let's just play with it and see what we come up with. All right. All right, what if we did these photos down here, and then this could get tucked under here and bring it down just a hair. Okay, that I'm kind of liking. Maybe we'll do this little photo over here, and we could put something like that. Okay, let's maybe shift these two photos. This is why I like to dry fit everything on before I actually place it all on. Then I could do something like that. That I'm really liking. And let's move our title down, because that's just up way too high. Let's just bring it down some more. And I think I might need a little bit of a splatter, I think. I need something, like it feels still so stark and so white. Or maybe a little bit of blending, ink blending, with maybe a little bit of that pink. That would be pretty. So what do you think, ladies? Do you think we're on the right track? Should I move something? Maybe I should move this photo over. Oh, see, now that I'm liking. Bringing that photo over so it's not so much there. And then this photo could come here. Maybe bringing these down a little bit more. Like that. And then this could maybe just be a simple, a little bit like there. I don't know. All right, can we maybe bring this one over that's kind of cut and tuck that like that. Oh, okay, that I'm liking. It's definitely a little bit more what I'm thinking. Maybe shortening this up so it's not so, that could work. Okay. And then maybe putting that one there and this one tucking right there. I think I like that. This side we still got to figure out a little bit more. But I am definitely thinking I need something behind here. So I'm kind of thinking maybe this pink. If only I knew what the pink was. I have to look at the pack. Let me look at the paper pack and then grab it. It does not say. Okay. I think I'm just going to do a little bit of ballerina because that is so light. All right. I think I'm good with the photos on this side. This, we will continue here. So let's put down our photos on the left. And I'm going to go, let's go like 1 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. And then we can do our little 3x4. Yep, there it is. There's the end. And put a new stamp and seal in. I just have to clean out a little bit of the residue that sometimes sticks. There we go. I'll put our lid back on. And this I am going to line up right at the bottom of my 5x7 so that they're both in line together. And this gold piece, I think I'm just going to clip off one right here at the end. And and I'm going to put it right underneath the red, and a little bit is going to hang off, and I'm okay with that. I am going to use some liquid glue for this, just because it's kind of on the delicate side. Now, when do you ladies start to decorate for the holidays? I am guilty. I started the week of Halloween. But then again, I also have 9 trees this year. Granted, one is 1 foot tall, but still, I had to decorate it. And then I worked this past weekend over at my mom's decorating her trees. We had 2 up by Thanksgiving, and then I did her last one this weekend in her living room. It's more of a formal tree. This embellishment I am not going to put on foam tape, only because it doesn't have a pretty edge, and I want to tuck it under right here. And I think before I go putting it down with full gusto, I think I'm going to add a little bit of this ribbon. This ribbon is so pretty. This is the open weave trim. So I was thinking just like a little bit tucked under there. Just to give us a little more zhuzh. Oh, and that I like. I like that a lot. Okay, we're going to work on our title piece here. And I am going to do a little bit of ink blending with Ballerina. So we were thinking right around here. And I'm just going to do a circle. Now, Ballerina from Close to My Heart is very, very light. And I'm sure you probably cannot see it on camera. And I'm just going in a circular motion and blending out. Okay, let me see if I can get, I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, you should be able to. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to put my title right there. Okay. Now for sure these poinsettias will get a little bit of foam. Now as far as this gold, I really don't want a ton of it. Let's put the word season down first. I'm going to grab my tweezers. So that I would have a good hold on the title. It is very delicate. This title is a Close to My Heart Christmas title before they went out of business. All right, let's go with season right about there. So my title is going to be 8 inches from the bottom. Okay, so now as far as this gold, all right, I think I want it there. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 will be cut off from the right. And I am going to let a little bit of it go underneath the floral poinsettia paper. Just like that. Now let's put the word "the" on next. Let me just position the word "tis." Okay, right there. Seriously, Suzanne, you're not decorating till the 22nd. Oh my goodness. I would be a nervous wreck right now, not having any of this done. Oh my goodness. Now, has Heather decorated at her house? So I wonder how Luke does at her house with it. Okay, let's put a little bit of foam now on both of these poinsettias. Oh, she's not putting one up. Okay. Well then. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like that. And then this is the one that's only one leaf. Oh, yes, 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 yes. This is coming along so lovely. And the fact that this is this year's Christmas decorating, and I already have part of it scrapbooked. Oh, I see. So Santa still delivers to your house. Okay, so all we have left to do is add a little bit of sparkle, and we will do that in a moment. Let's concentrate now over here on our right hand side, because it's feeling not balanced to me. So well, definitely those are not going to fit top to bottom like that. All right. What if, okay, let's just move this stuff out of the way. This is why I like to do after. So maybe doing one here. And we could do, see, these two are the same room. So I could almost do something like that. But then, well, these are through 3 different trees. So maybe doing something like that. And I could do here, and maybe what we could do would be our cluster up here instead, and still do our gold piece here. Okay, what if we move it this way? No, that I definitely don't like. Ladies. Let's see. All right, let's put our peppermint one here that I liked. All right, what if we move the snowman one here, but then you don't see this paper at all. So I think having it on this outer side, I definitely like it better. This is so challenging. Okay. Maybe just having that there. We can always shimmy that over a little. See, and I feel like this needs to go up and down only because of the leaves. Do any of you have a suggestion for me? So I think definitely moving the peppermint tree in. What about a flip flap for the 3? I was thinking that, April, and I might have to just resort to that. And I could just put these into a flip flap here. And then this tree, I could then bring more here. And we could just do something like that on this outer edge. Okay, let's see if I have a flip flap sitting next to me. I think I do. That might work. And then we would do something like right there. And maybe having these line this photo like that. That I kind of like. Okay, let's do that. I think that will work out lovely. Adhesive. And I'm going to put this one down. Let's line it up on the edge, right there. And then my flip flap will go here, but I'll put it on once I put this into my page protector. So it'll lay like so. And we're going to put this photo down next. Let's bring it over a little bit more. There we go. All right, and then this, we're going to go right there. I think I'm just going to snip it here after 2. And then we'll do a little tuck of this. Not too much, but just a little. And then we'll use these poinsettias and we'll have it sort of wrapping the photo like that. I think that looks pretty. But those will definitely need to be on some foam. So let's put some foam tape on that. And you know what? If I put a little bit of pink there, I should probably put a little bit of pink on this side as well, so that we have it in both areas. And I'm just going to do a little, like right there. And then I'm going to do a little bit up here near this blue. And then we would have it in our 3 points of interest. And now some foam. Oops, that piece was a little too long for that spot. There we go. And we should probably bring a little bit of that gold ribbon again over here. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Let's do a small one, 2 little small pieces, like that. And what we'll do is we'll have it like tucking out, like so. That's exactly what we need to do. And the foam tape will actually hold it down. Put it sort of on a diagonal, I think. We'll do there, and then we'll do a little piece up here. Such a fun layout. And there's quite a bit of photos on this. Okay, and now we are going to add a little bit of dots. And these are the sequin dots. And the last time I checked, they were actually in the Wild Supplies Last Chance section. So I actually picked up a second set of them just because they're so, so pretty. Okay, did I not get the sticky part on there? Go. All right, so I did there. I'm going to do a little bit down here. Let's do another nice large one. this little small one. Let's see, where could we go? And I think I'm going to go right there. All right, let's put a little bit on this side. So I'm going to do large there, a medium there, and a small. Okay, we have one more cluster. To do. And that is our layout for tonight. So we had a 7 by 12 inch piece. We have a 5 by 7 photo mat, a 3 by 4. This polka dot piece was 4 by 6. And then we have embellishments. And I did a little bit of ink blending up here under our title. And then our other side, we have the rest of our 12 by 12 paper, which is 5 by 12. We have the velvet paper at 1 inch, a piece that was 3 by 6, and I embossed that. We have another piece of the polka dot at 4 by 6, and then 2 4 by 6 photos. And here with a flip flap, I was able to add 1, 2, 3 photos. And with my photos being printed at home, I was actually able to get 4 here and then another 4 here that are, I want to say they're like maybe 2.5 inch. Here, we will measure that. So that is actually 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So 4 of those. So 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So not quite 2 by 2s, but closer. And then I added again a little bit of a pink ink blending here and here so that those tied together. And we used a little bit of the open weaved gold ribbon. And I put it in this embellishment cluster and then this one. And then we have the poinsettias and a little bit of a gold scalloped border. And we have it in all 3 areas. I would say this layout is done. And the fact that this is 2025 is even better. And so just with a pen, I like to put my date at the bottom of my page. 2025. So I know which book this needs to go into. Now next Sunday, we will be doing a gift card holder. So that will be perfect for the holidays. So I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day at 7 o'clock. See you next week. Good night.